Hey guys, what's going on? MG Gaming here again with another, and definitely will be the final episode of Detroit Become Human. And I'm here again for the last time for this session with my beautiful wife, Lynn. And so yeah, first
we
things
need to
first.
proceed to a test of your controller.
I feel it. It's vibrating.
Oh, okay. I thought she was going to ask
The
you
test
questions.
is now complete. Thank you for your cooperation.
So, last time... Was that what you were going to say?
Yeah, last time when we were playing, we got to the very end. We were pretty much at the last part of it, from me remembering it. It completely crashed on us.
Just
and
completely lost connection for whatever
it
reason.
Said system error, and it came up.
Yeah.
Which I know anybody that's got a PlayStation, same thing with Xbox, they have these codes that come up if something goes wrong. It happened, and it completely cut us off. It did record the audio
like 20 seconds.
for like 10 or 15 seconds. But I just wanted to say I'm sorry for that. It was late, so we didn't want to go back into it and finish it.
Yeah.
So we're just finishing it now. We know it's going to be only maybe another half an hour gameplay, I would assume. But what we're going to do at the end is we'll give our thoughts. Me, Lynn, because I've already played it, but I will go through and tell her and tell you guys anything that happened with me differently, because there's some big changes going through this that's a lot happier in this section than it was for my section.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll go through that at the end, but we're going to continue. Hopefully it kicks us off right where we were, because we finished the whole war.
We were trying to find the thing in Amanda's, the handprint thingy.
The war was over. The president saw that we are human, or the
You're
robots
alive.
are alive.
You're intelligent,
So
artificial.
it
not
all
art,
went down. We met up with Connor, and then Marcus was speaking to all the other robots.
But
So
we left off with Connor in the blizzard.
In whatever, I don't know what they call that, in robot heaven or whatever.
Well, it's not cyber life, right?
No, it's some... I don't know, honestly. I don't think so. I think it's probably some software. Maybe it is from CyberLife. Yeah, this is close enough. You did it. No, you did it.
No, you.
No, actually,
No.
I didn't do anything.
You did
I
it,
just
Marcus.
got a whole bunch of androids for no reason.
Right.
We did it. This is a great day for our people. Humans will have no choice now. They'll have to listen to us.
They always have a choice then. If you hear something weird behind us,
Our
hopefully
dog.
you don't. Our dog is chewing a bone,
We're
like
free.
right behind us.
She literally is laying right behind us.
Because she just gives no fucks.
We have two
They
dogs.
want you to speak to them, Marcus.
This is the younger but larger.
Yeah, both of them are saved.
They're rescued.
The
Rescue dogs.
yeah.
Yep.
Our first one is much older.
She's gonna be 10.
Yeah, she don't give a shit.
She don't give a shit.
She's cool.
She is a
She don't
wiener
give a
dog. Doesn't care.
Other one is not even one yet.
Other one is a pity mix, and
She's big.
She's big and dopey.
Today,
But we love
our
her.
people finally emerged from a long night. From the very first day of our existence, we have kept our pain to ourselves. We suffered in silence.
Just made it seem like it's been snowing for like a month.
It
But
has
now
been
the time has come for us to raise our heads up
But then again,
and
they
tell
probably get all
humans
that
who
lake
we
effect
really
weather,
are.
right? I would assume
What's that?
the lake effect weather because they're right near the Great Lakes, so they get all like that. Oh, here we go.
So we
And we're
talked
like-
to Amanda, and then she disappeared, and then we just started trying to search for the thing to get us out, and that's when it
The
crashed.
handprint
So,
thing, right?
Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't do that again.
You're like, what?
Amanda?
I was used.
Amanda!
He all
What?
cries and stuff.
What's happening?
What
He
was the
knew
plan
that
from
too.
the very
He said
beginning?
You sweet summer child.
You
He just didn't want it
uncompromised
to be
and
true.
became the
He
deal.
knew it was true, though. He even said it when he was...
We just had to wait
So
for the right
who
moment to
is
resume
above
control
Amanda?
of your program.
The only person I could think that
Resume
would be above
control.
Amanda would be the guy that we saw that was
Cyberlife guy.
You can't do
But
that!
he technically
I'm afraid I
doesn't.
can, Connor.
isn't a part of Cyberlife.
Don't have
But
any
is she
regrets.
okay? So
You did
is
what
it like
you
a
were
secret
designed to do.
organization? Will we find that
You
out?
I
accomplished
will
your mission.
explain who she is
Amanda!
at the end.
So I won't get it.
I don't think so. I don't know. I can't remember.
There's got to be a way.
There's got to be a way, and we know.
Find a way out.
Is that it over there?
Yeah, there's blue, or it's blue blood or something. Yeah, go to that. Is that as fast as you can walk?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, come on. I'm gonna freeze. Hurry up.
Come on, kid.
The moment where we forget our bitterness and bandage our wounds. Where we forgive our enemies. Humans were both our creators and our oppressors, and tomorrow, we must make them our partners. Maybe even one day our friends. But the time for anger is over.
Try to have him kill Marcus right there.
Now we must build a common future based on tolerance and respect. We are alive! And now, we are free!
They all just like screaming with just their mouths. They're just like, there's like no physical movement. They're just like,
I wonder if there's any facial features here. It's probably just all. Oh, there.
Oh, we got
Rowdy.
a couple rowdy ones.
Always in the front. They're the moshers. See, now, last time, that took me a while to find. And
Seriously? Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That was freaky.
Kara. I was like, what, did you get in a fight?
That rendered wasn't complete.
Damn.
It's over, Alice.
Comes a little off with her hair, too. Oh, no, it's
We're free.
I would keep going quite a bit further into the border. And, like, hide behind some bushes before I celebrate it.
It's very unusual rocking. Like, Alice was like,
Yeah, she's, like, very dramatically leaned on her. Like, I don't want to touch you, but I want to hug. Like,
wouldn't that stink if they went the wrong way and they were still in, and they went back into the United States?
it's like the wrong door. Sorry. Lavender. Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Holy shit. You said there was a half hour. That was 8 minutes.
Well, I thought there was a longer. There is something after this.
Wow.
So, yeah.
We literally were right there.
Yeah. And it kind of sucks because it really cut off that ending
Yeah.
with Alice because I didn't see that before.
Huh?
And that was where it was all different, and I'll explain it after the credits and stuff because there should be one scene. There should be after the credits.
Do you think that they'll make a sequel? Is that why they set it up like Marvel style, where they kind of like leak the next game or like hint toward something for the future?
I could very easily see them doing
No, but I
something.
mean, is that what this scene is going to be?
No.
Okay.
This is,
Sweet.
but
Right.
I could see somebody trying to come into
I mean, the future. Why wouldn't it be like?
or have somebody or a robot.
Right,
trying
that's what I'm
just-
saying.
trying
Or
to just
like
infrastructure.
trying
kill humans.
to, yeah, like
Like if a rogue robot
they
that
don't
survived.
want to be with humans anymore. They want to take over humans. Now, who? Okay,
All right, so Amanda.
who is Amanda with?
I remembered it after we did it. If you look, I don't know how I missed it because the first time I saw it
Oh my God, just what?
in the founder's office,
Yes.
when you're in the waiting room,
Yes.
she is standing next to him. They both worked on Cyberlife. She was like the
Okay.
vice president
Right.
of Cyberlife.
Right.
So
I got
don't-
that.
I don't know how she's in the whatever,
But see, that's what I. Okay. I'll save it for after.
but maybe that's where part 2's coming in. Maybe she's not done.
But
She just left.
I'll still
Maybe
save
she's
my.
gonna come up with a plan.
I'll save my thoughts on that because they are plentiful.
I noticed in some scenes.
Oh, so these are different ways it could have went.
She has different. Yeah, there's extra things.
Oh, that's in the beginning. Oh, wow. I got thoughts about that too. I got
There's a like a 22-minute thing that they make of this, and I tell you what, when they show, obviously I know how they do the make dots and stuff and the motion
Right.
capture and stuff.
Right.
But
The suits.
the way when you see the picture of the actors,
Oh,
their
yeah,
focus,
like,
and then on here it's like, damn, they
Jesse
did a good
Williams,
job.
I think
Yeah.
is his name. I mean, his
He
spitting
looks-
image
yeah,
of him. I know him the most as an actor,
yeah.
so the recognition level is. Oops, sorry, shut up. This is Hank. This is Hank. That's it?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so...
It's funny.
No, it's sweet. I just don't know why they chose to do it then and not just at the end of the game. But I guess they were trying to get people
From what
to
I
watch the
remember,
credits.
there's nothing after this. That was a very Marvel thing because they had like mini credits,
Right.
And then they show a scene, and then they go into the.
Whenever there's pictures in credits, whenever there's images of people in the credits, that shit ain't over. You sit your butt down, you wait, because that is such a classic Marvel thing. Like, until you see this shit scroll, and even still, I sit there for a good, like, solid minute, because I'm like, don't fucking fool me! Okay, so can we talk?
Yes.
Okay. Me?
No, if you have something, go ahead.
No, I have a lot of things, but where do you want to start? Where do we want to go? Like, how do we want to
You
get
can
into
start
this?
just saying whatever you feel. Let's talk about I don't know, whatever. 'Cause
okay.
It's on. It's
So
whatever.
okay, so let's since we just
Sorry, I
talked
shut the
about Amanda, let's just start with that. Like, I'll just preface that I'm saying everything. I don't even know where to look. Where's the camera?
Camera's right up there.
The red dot. Okay. Hi. I will just preface that everything I say is coming from the perspective of a writer and an editor. I've worked in writing and editing professionally for at least 15 years. I've written all kinds of things, nonfiction, fiction. So writing is something that's very... I pick it apart because I can, because that's what I do, that's what I get paid to do.
Plus, you foresee things. You have a very
Yeah,
good ability.
well,
to
because I'm a
pick up
storyteller,
things and what's
so
coming up.
I craft plots, like, that's what I do. So having Amanda being this very classic silent upper leader kind of thing, you know, where you have this elite upper level, like it's a very tropey thing where you have an elite upper level and they are kind of like, you know, the puppeteers, right?
Yeah.
So cool, Amanda's that. Why in the hell did we never know who that group was? Because you know it's not just Amanda.
Yeah.
Okay? It can't be. Like, logic would
There's-
say
there's
that it's not.
somebody-
And what is she, God then? At
Yeah,
that point?
there's somebody. Obviously, they have a cyberlight code, so there's people that are running cyberlight.
Right. So who is in this secret
So
organization?
What I took from it is that Amanda is like the construct of the software that sends out robots.
Okay.
And I almost feel like they made Amanda is, like I said, from what I saw in the picture, she is linked to the founder, the guy who created CyberLife, and obviously they work together. I think she still is at CyberLife. I think she put herself in the construct to be control of, mainly just a control of Connor, because he's the only one that goes there. I think she has just made a program for herself to be in there to control Connor, to try to find out what's going on.
Sure. Okay, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. But what is her end game plan then?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That defined goal, or seeing that there is someone that's just pulling the strings, that is what I'm missing. I'm missing an explanation of where Amanda gets her power, or who she gets her orders from. Like, I want closure on that. Like, I want to know there's this secret Onslaught organization at the top, or I want to know that Amanda is the, like, formation of a consciousness or something. Like, I want to know exactly who she is and why she's there, or who she's getting her orders from, because that part does not sit well with me. Like,
I mean, you don't even really see anything of CyberLife being an entity until Connor goes at the end.
Right.
You get all the robots, and then you realize that there's this big infrastructure, and obviously they're like probably one of the biggest businesses in the world.
Right.
Because
they're the most influential. Right.
They don't just have Amanda, like you're saying.
Exactly.
I believe the same thing, I think.
But just even if Amanda was just this most immediate puppet that you see, right? A puppet within the puppet, right? Fine. Excuse me, but we should know that at least something exists. Yeah. We should have a definite, even if it's just kind of seen off to the distance where there's like these secretive meetings, or like, you know, there's these people that you see pop up here and there continually, kind of just watching. Like, you should know that there is some shit going on. Do you know what I mean? Even if you don't know the name of whatever it is, you should know that there is some shit going on for sure. And that Amanda is heavily, like, you should be able to link those together. And that, it was a huge fail for me as far as writing goes in that aspect, because I kept wanting to see a connection back with Amanda. I wanted Amanda to have a secret conversation with some other character that was already introduced. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to connect Amanda in.
Or if we went to the co-founder's place when we went there, if we saw him walking away from Amanda or something like that.
Or Amanda, you know, in a back office or something.
What I can take from that is either there was something there that I think I remember missing, which was the picture of them. I don't remember if that came up in talking to the founder, which it might have unlocked something.
Yeah, but still, we should have known that information a lot earlier. So, perspective, yes, you don't see right away how people weave in, but you can kind of imagine, based on the roles that everybody takes within their own story, how they might blend together. You kind of can put that together yourself and figure out, okay, Connor is an investigative officer. Of course he's going to be on the case with Marcus because it's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can figure out those connective points, but with Amanda, she was always just like this thing. And I wanted to know how she fit in.
The only other thing I can think of is that and I can't remember if they are, but if they do make a part 2, I mean, that could be the force.
Yeah, but even still, like, you should already know that. Yeah. You should hate them. Like, you should have a name for them. Like, the secret X people. Like, you know, I can't stand them, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you should already have a very strong opinion. Obviously, we do about Amanda. We know Amanda can't be working alone. Like, that's just not possible. Even though she's an android, it is not possible. Either Amanda is part of something bigger, or Amanda is herself like a middleman. But we should know that. We should already have a very strong opinion about that halfway through the game. Do you know what I mean? And then by the end of it, we should be like, son of a bitch. You know, they got away with it, you know?
She got
like,
away.
we should
She was
should
trying to do
have an
something.
opinion about it.
Or she just got away.
Right.
Not even that she got away
But
with
even
doing
that's
something, she just got away.
that's undefined enough. So say Amanda is the only thing, right? Say like she's the only thing at the very top. Amanda is this robotic god figure. We should still know that. We should still have something that reveals that power and information to us so that we can then properly assign hate or enjoyment or like or whatever we're feeling for it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that I did not like. I'm just gonna assume it's just gonna pop up with all the things. Oh, let's talk about that.
What?
The barricade.
The barricade.
Let's talk about the fucking barricade, okay? Because so they're just marching along, peacefully protesting on an open road, and they get to what appears to be like an intersection, a T intersection. They can only make a left or a right because something's right in front of it, right? So the letter T, right? And they're coming up the center, and it's open road.
Mm-hmm. And it's a big open road.
Big open road. Major open road, right?
And the only thing that's on the sides of them are the police.
Police. Where the fuck are they getting all the tires, the fucking skids, the fucking dumpsters, the fucking barrels with fire in them? Where the fuck is that? Oh my god, that made me so mad. Like, after we got disconnected, that made me so mad. I was probably ranting about it for a good, like, fucking half hour after we were done, because I'm like, some of the pan scenes, when they pan, you see these tires. They're like fucking up to their shoulders in
It's
tires.
Like, it's like, it was one of those, it's one of those, that parts of a scene, just like in a movie, where you're looking away, and then you go to another scene, and then you come back, and it's completely different for some reason. But it's like, it's almost like you just have to take it for what it was.
I don't have to take it for what it was. I don't have to do anything.
Well, you have to, because that's what they did.
I don't have to accept it, okay? I don't accept that scene. I don't... Okay, so I don't accept it, first of all. Second of all, why? Why? If they're peacefully protesting, right? They're killing androids left and right before this scene is unfolding, because Kara and Luther see people dying all over the place just for existing, right?
Yeah.
Just for existing. Just for, like, being there, you're done.
Like, they weren't even taking them to camps at
They
that
weren't
point.
even taking... They were just executing them right in the street, right? Then they go and march peacefully. Cool. Why, when Marcus then disobeys, because they said, if you don't stop or turn around or surrender or whatever, we're gonna shoot, we're gonna open fire, blah, blah, blah. They said it like a couple times.
Well...
But he did.
Okay.
So... if you got this whole bunch ass of people, androids, whatever, come in, and they're like, nope, we're not gonna listen, why wouldn't you be shooting their asses up?
The only thing that I can think of is because during the time that you're walking with Marcus, even when you start, the top of that view that's from the top is supposed to be the helicopter, and there's all the press there. And even when you build the dumpster fires and shit, and you go to talk to them, Marcus even says, well, what happened to the other protesters and the other camps and stuff?
They didn't have press.
The android.
Okay.
The android.
Okay. But they said, if you come any further, we will open fire. So why even say that then? If you don't... Like, why even bother threatening them? No. Why even bother threatening then if you're worried about how the press is going to receive you? You just stand there with your guns and be like, you cannot come any further, this is private property, blah, 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 blah. And then, but you wouldn't be ready to attack. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's... Yeah. Maybe that's just me being hypercritical, but that writing to me is very crucial because it sets the tone for the moment, right? So it doesn't make sense to have these people saying, we're going to kill you, if they're worried about their image when they're saying it in front of the people who are broadcasting it.
Yeah. I will tell you that when I first played it, that part, I think, kind of goes in that same direction no matter pretty much what you do, depending on what you do before.
Right.
I'm sorry, I got here. Did I just forget what I was thinking?
You did just forget what you were
think
thinking.
People like me that aren't as aware, especially with writing and stuff, take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And not really fixate on the aspects of.
But to me, that's sloppy ass writing. I would have caught that in editing and been like, no,
but what I will tell you, and I do remember this, is that when we were walking and they did start shooting, and then we got to the part where we stopped and we kneeled, and they were all like, "Oh, okay," and they put down their guns. I did feel I was feeling more tense until that moment, and then when they cut back and we were all around in that dumpster fire thing,
the barricade,
it wasn't as tense because
because you had a barrier.
Well, no, not even because of that. Because I think in the back of my mind it was because they weren't shooting. So I'm going back to what you were saying, how because they were shooting at the beginning when we were walking, and then they just stopped.
There's just a lot of inconsistencies with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of inconsistencies with it. Because if you're going to act like that and then you're going to just let them do whatever they're going to do, then you're going to actually let them take the time to build that fucking barricade with all that shit all over the place. And then you're going to be like, guess what? We're tired of it. We're going to throw some bombs at you now. That's sloppy to me. Like, it's sloppy. And I understand that probably from the writing perspective, they needed to stretch that moment out as long as they possibly could. So that's how they did it. But to me, cinematically speaking, it brought me right out of that moment because my immediate question was, you were going to kill them, but now you're not. But now you're going to throw bombs at them, but you gave them enough time to build themselves a barricade. Yeah. Like
they had to
pick one. Pick whether you're going to do what you say you're going to do,
like they had
or
to do
let them protest.
For the chief or whatever he was, the FBI guy. And then
he was already there. Like, that's what I'm saying. The writing on that, it brought me out of the moment because it wasn't realistic. Yeah. This guy is already there. He's waiting. He's got his whole fleet of people. If he wanted to talk to Marcus, then he would have talked to Marcus when they were standing there, when they were kneeling. He would have said, okay, come here, let's talk.
The only thing I think of is if he started shooting and then they charged, it might have been
they gave him all that time to build a barricade, and then 5 minutes after we're into the barricade scene, they're like, yeah, you know what, we're just gonna fucking throw some bombs at you because we're done. Like, I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. That pissed me off really a lot because that is such a huge pivotal moment.
Right.
And they brought me right out of it, and it was hard to get back into it once I was done screaming in my head, like, why the fuck are they giving him time to do, like, what, pick one, either you're gonna shoot him or you're not. But no, now we're gonna throw bombs at... Anyway, I really didn't like that part. I really, 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 really hated how they did that.
Now, while you're thinking of it, is there anything else that you didn't like?
There's other things I didn't like, yes, but specifically in what arena?
I'm talking about, like, how the game wasn't accurate or...
Yes, there's other things, but can you think of... Point me in a direction.
Okay. I'll start with this. When I played... and when we got to the train station and we were with Luther, Kara, and Alice, when we were trying to board the train, I mean, not the train, the bus. The whole thing happens with that couple. Yeah. No matter what you do. Right. If you go over there, you find them. The tickets dropped. Yeah. I picked up the tickets. Yeah. I gave them back to them.
You're stupid.
very stupid.
You are
but
stupid.
I'm too kind.
They're humans.
So we would have died. But, so we give him back to them, like, oh no, we gotta find another way. You don't get on the bus. You still do the same thing where you walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Todd finds you again.
Right.
The same thing happened. He kind of gets pissed and then,
let me know when you're done.
yeah, sees Alice and death. So, after that, you walk into that little corridor that was right behind Todd.
Yes.
That's when you meet up with Rose.
Yes.
And then you get with people, other androids,
Mm-hmm.
and the next, I think that scene ends. The next scene, when you're with them, is when you're on a boat going across
the river. Okay.
Now, there's differences to this thing, but the way I did it was the worst because I suck. So you're riding, and you see other boats with you, and you're riding your thing.
Right.
It's only, at that point, it was only me and
Luther?
no, me and Alice, because Luther unfortunately got shot.
Okay.
So we're riding. The frickin' Coast Guard comes and starts shooting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you the option to do the same thing that you did when we were running away from the tanker.
Mm-hmm.
It says, play dead, try going really fast, or do whatever.
Yeah, you tried to go really fast.
I tried to go really fast.
You dumbass.
So they were shooting us, and we end up getting away somehow. But then you find out that Alice got shot.
And she's dead.
You get to the border, you get to the other side, you're safe, and then Alice dies. And then Kara has the option to either go on or deactivate herself.
Did you deactivate yourself?
No, I went on.
I would have deactivated
and
myself.
all you see at the end is Kara just walk off all sad. I was like, that made me feel like
blows.
shit, and I was pissed off for
I
a
mean,
long time.
that's realistic, because what else is she going to do in that situation if that's the path you chose?
Yeah.
But let's go back to Todd finding us at the bus station. Okay. So, I got that she took the daughter away. Like, that whole thing I thought was actually pretty good character writing, because it was a choice that made sense for him. Like, he was trying to rebuild his family. Obviously, this guy has issues, wasn't going to do well at it no matter what, because he wasn't getting the help that he needed. However, I don't know. I just, that whole thing felt...
Excuse me.
I know that they're not related. I know that they're not blood. I know all of that. Maybe I'm just wanting a little bit more realism out of it. I don't know what that word was. Realism. But I mean, first of all, how did he know that they were there? Is he trying to leave himself? Like,
he was trying to leave, but he saw them. That's what
right.
he
Okay,
grabs
so that
Kara.
answers that question. So, logistically, he's fine. The thing is, like, he beat her. He beat Kara so bad that she had to be reprogrammed.
Mm-hmm. Or, like, fixed completely, pretty much.
I would say, if she's deviated this much from being a robot, I would say that she would have a lot harder time with that whole situation. Like, I felt like there should have been a bit of bitterness.
You mean for Kara or
for Kara
and Alice?
For Alice, because
Yeah.
Alice is better than all of us. Obviously, Alice is the representation of innocence. Alice is not going to hold that bitterness. I get it. That's part of her character. Kara, if she has such a passionate feeling for Alice, that should have shown, it should have bled through a little bit. There should have been a stiffness. There should have been an uncomfortableness instead of like, aw, look at that. That's so nice. Okay, now let's go. Like, no. I'm sorry. If anybody even looks at my kid the wrong way, you're going to have to deal with me. Let alone all of that. Okay? there would have been some bitterness. And maybe
Yeah.
that's just me looking for a little bit of realism. I feel like she just took that really all, like, I guess she was trying to help him and understand him, but Jesus Christ, he, like, literally killed you at one point. He killed you. He beat the innocent android girl. Right?
Yeah.
And God only knows what else. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, she should have been more strict.
No,
With
like
how she was acting.
Yeah,
towards him.
I mean, she could have empathized with him. She could have tried to, console him and work him through. But at the end of the day, she was just way too goddamn nice.
Well, I think she kind of held that throughout the whole thing. I mean, even though she, like you said, she was growing in her.
Yeah, I
love
don't
for her,
know.
I don't know. Kara's
by
always
that
been...
point, all the shit that they had to go through because of him.
Yeah.
And then you come face to face, the very last step, almost at that point. It's one of the very critical moment that you've been working toward and coming toward, and you're there, and there he is. There should have been enough friction left over, even working him through that.
Yeah.
There should have been a bit of resent. There should have been a colder edge.
Right.
And maybe I'm just, again, maybe I'm looking at it from the perspective of how I would write it, but it didn't feel real to me. It took me out of that moment. It took me out of the struggle with the character, because it's good writing how they set up you to have empathy for Todd because of his story.
Yeah.
Which is smart. It's good, because it does make you very conflicted as far as how you resonate with a character. He's not just bad for bad sake.
Yeah.
Like, that's bad writing. Bad people, basically, no one ever has a villain in their stories. Everybody thinks that they are their own hero, right?
Yep.
So no one really thinks that they are a villain. There should be purpose to everything that everybody does. Obviously, Todd's was emotionally, he was not in a good place, not being supported, not being, having the therapy he needed, whatever. It just took me right out of the moment, like right out of the moment, and I was upset by that, because that's a huge, again, another huge. I felt like it really catered to someone like you, the
like,
happily ever after crowd, and I'm.
Like, Luther should have pushed them aside.
He should have been like,
punched
okay.
through his chest and ripped out his heart. And said, you don't deserve to live.
No, I mean, that would have been fine. I would have accepted that better than anything else. But there should have been just, like, a nod. Like, that's all you get. You get a nod. Like, I'm never going to think about you ever again. I get that you have issues, but you just get a nod.
Yeah.
Move the fuck on. Like, that would have kept me in that tense moment.
Right.
Because it's no. I just think that writing and the whole Marcus writing was very poorly handled. I think Connor's storyline was actually treated very well in his pivotal, tense moments. The whole evil Connor versus good Connor thing. I liked that. Again, it's another trope that is in literature, but these are all tropes. That's why we tell stories, because stories all have patterns. But I feel like they treated that relationship very, very well.
Yeah.
And I feel like as long as you weren't an absolute asshole, that's the direction it would have went in, pretty much, no matter what you chose.
Right.
So there was growth and there was building, and then that moment where he's like, he's got to shoot one of them, right? But he knows his friend. And it's like, it's like all the good feels without, and then he's like, go, you got to do your thing. Like, it felt real. It felt like, and then that cutscene at the end where they just give a hug.
And it's not that they give each other hugs. You see Hank
embrace him.
He feels like he has gained almost like a son.
Right.
And
That's
Connor,
his
because that's what he was
friend.
longing for after his son died.
So,
and he had so much.
That was treated so beautifully, and I just, when I compare that to the other writing of those pivotal moments, I was so mad at Marcus's and Kara's. So mad.
So what were you? Was it the dumpster thing? That
The
was
barricade.
The barricade.
Well, it was the writing all around. It wasn't Marcus himself, and it wasn't. Well, it was Kara herself, but it wasn't Marcus himself. I don't feel like. I feel like I had an issue with Marcus just coming in and being like, well, this is what we're gonna do. Like, he just fucking walks into Jericho. God knows how long Jericho's been established, and he had the cojones to just go and be like, you guys really aren't free. Like,
well, I'm willing to believe, because of how the beginning of the game started, that when you see Connor at the beginning do the whole thing with the shoot out with the android, he was one of the first. What's it called? What are they called?
Deviants.
Deviants.
Yeah.
So obviously the whole Jericho wasn't really started.
Yeah, but they had a lot of people there.
No, there wasn't that many people.
They had like
the
20-some people in there.
Yeah, that's not that much.
In that scene, they had a lot of people. Okay, they had symbols and graffiti. Like, they had enough clout and history behind them that they were established.
Well, obviously they didn't have a leader.
But
Marcus was like, he fell down that thing. He
so
was like,
that
this sucks.
I didn't like. But let's go back to my original point. It wasn't Marcus's storyline at that pivotal, crucial moment that I was upset with. I feel like he progressed in the way that he should have. Again, I just feel like in general, everybody but Connor could learn to say thank you every once in a while to people who are nice. Like, let's just pop in a thank you. Because, but Mom and me came out and like, thank you. Like, you want to thank the guy who letting you over the fucking border, even though it's illegal. Like, you want to give him a hand clap, something. But it was the writing in general. It was well, I'm going to shoot you if you come any further, but guess what? I'm not. And I'll give you enough time to build a barricade with tires, but then I'm going to blow you up with bombs. That's what I had a problem with.
Because you built that barricade with bombs.
Why? Like, that's what I had a problem with, not Marcus himself. The other storyline, I didn't have a problem with them bringing in Todd to the storyline. I had a problem with how Kara left that scene. Yeah. There should have been growth in the character, and to me, it should have been a more complex growth. Not just, oh, I'm a deviant and I'm nice now and this is that. No, there should have been conflict, because that is the core
the one thing
of emotion.
The whole Kara storyline, actually one of my favorite things was actually Luther and how he progressed through the story.
I feel like they cheated him a little bit.
They did, because I think he did deserve more, but what I saw of him was very like straightforward. Yeah. And like he didn't really weigh emotions like Kara did. He was like, there's something going on.
Yeah,
like,
but he also wasn't deviated long enough.
No.
And you can't understand this because you're not a mother. If there are women watching this who happen to be mothers or in a motherly role, there is a natural difference. Yeah. Than Luther would have acted, than Kara would. If you're trying to say that she longed to be that figure for that child and she now was that figure for that child, there would have been a natural difference between that. There would have been a clear, and that's what I wanted to see, because that would have been more pivotal and more effective as a character, to have her recognize what was done was wrong, but I'm going to be the bigger person. Not everything is peaches and sunshine and cream. The end. Like, I hate that shit. I hate it. I'm done. Let's move on.
And I don't know if you saw at the end, and this is Marcus's, it says androids want freedom for the moment.
Of course it's for the moment, because why wouldn't they say for the moment? Because that gives them the opportunity.
40% won for the moment. So
maybe there was a way to win forever.
Like killing all humans.
That's the second game, and I played cheese balls. Alright, so what else are we bitching about?
All right, let's go to Connor's. I want to see Connor's.
I don't have any issues with Connor's storyline.
Battle
Except for Amanda's, who Amanda is, but that's not his fault.
Connor's last mission. Why is this blank?
He doesn't come in until then? Hmm. It says 0% completed.
Oh, Connor. Oh, I see. So maybe I wouldn't go. Oh, I guess if you're not a deviant, then you would have a whole different scenario here.
Okay.
I was gonna say, that makes more sense. I'm like, what the hell?
And they're like, hey, you're free. What happens? What is that?
Maybe it gives them the
But first
instability software coding that they
But you see Marcus do it first, right?
Yeah.
And you think, oh, this is like Marcus's jam because he's the only one doing it.
And it's
then
actually
all
his
of a
jam
sudden,
for a while.
Right. For quite a while.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, maybe I even said during a broadcast, maybe like he was supposed to be a caregiver, an empathetic caregiver for seniors or specifically for people with special needs or something like that where they would need a high level of empathy or perception. No. This is, you're free. Like, what? That I had an issue with because they set it up in such a way that I'm expecting it to be like Marcus's thing.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden everybody is able to like just do the mojo, whatever that is. So like let's just not make that Marcus's thing for so long and then have it be, it feels cheap. Do you know what I mean? Not sufficient to broadcast gameplay.
I'm sure that'll go off in a second.
Oh, we're still on?
Yeah, it's still on.
Okay.
There it goes.
Well, there it is. Anyway, it just feels cheap because they set me up to think that it was just Marcus's thing, which I think personally it would have been cooler if it was just Marcus's ability, because then that would have put him in a position to be a leader, because you could see why someone who is influential would it would be symbolism for his influence, right?
The only other person I could think of that could do it would be Connor, because Connor is an android that probably has more capability because he's made from cyber.
No, but he's a soldier. Like Connor's model, even though he's like so like kind of goofy and just, you know, like whatever. He's a soldier at the end of the day. He has a mission. He's going to complete the mission. Yeah. That's not his model. Like his personality conflicts that, but it's so he can weave himself in. That's what his personality is like that. But really, at the end of the day, Connor's going to get what he wants. That's not in his model. I think it would have been, what I'm trying to say is that if it would have been symbolic just for Marcus to have that ability, then I think that it would have been stronger.
Yeah.
Because that's how they set it up. And then all of a sudden everybody has the ability.
And
it
Marcus's
cheapens
power
it.
grew because he was like...
Yeah, and like... So, yeah, and he's like, boom, you're free, you're free. He was like fucking Oprah. He's like, you're free, and you're free, and you're free, and you're free. And like, what? Like, I don't know. Again, if it was just Marcus himself, right? Obviously, the instability's growing, whatever. You could justify it. But then at the end, to have like literally every single robot be like, "You're free, you're free, you're free, you're free, you're free."
I don't know.
And then why bring them all if they're not going to do anything? They just stood there.
Well, it was. I
mean, I get it. But
and maybe I'm going to assume that if the fight went differently, if I was actually fighting as Marcus,
maybe a lot of my issues are just based on the choices that we...
I think it would... There's a lot of differences.
Not all my issues, though. Some of it is the writing. And, yeah.
And see, with the whole Todd thing...
The fuck? Oh, that was probably the cat.
The whole
or somebody's trying
Todd
to
thing was very small for what we did. 18.
What do you mean? Oh.
The whole meet Todd at the train station.
So maybe there was a path more to less sunshine and lollipops that we took.
God, obviously, that down there is probably not getting to the train station. Wow.
Well, you know what? You're welcome, because you were like, you're not gonna get that. They're fucking humans. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, the characters were literally the ones that were getting shot for no reason. Like,
Yep.
they're not gonna fucking shoot a human and a
No.
wife and no. They're just not gonna get on that
Not
bus.
even that. They were in a secure area.
Right. Like,
Who gives a shit?
like,
They're fine.
fuck them.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
The game isn't called Become Human so I can fucking save humans. Like, no. Fucking, I want to be able to do shit. No. Fuck them. You do tend to sit back and... But, I mean, that's you. You're a nice person. I'm not a nice person. There were times where I wanted to kill people. And you should have killed people. Because it would have been easier if you just fucking killed them.
Kill them.
Kill them. Just kill them. They were like coming... Like, you questioned me about killing those two deviants. Yes. Did it feel good? No. But you probably avoided a whole other situation by just killing them.
Do you want to know what happens if you don't shoot?
Yes.
They don't attack you. They end up... from what I remember seeing, you let them escape. You
Cool.
don't shoot, and she doesn't attack you, so you let them escape. So they're not ending up being in there. I don't know if something else is confirmed later down that timeline, because I didn't do that. I shot him too.
Then why'd you give me such hell when I wanted to shoot him? You're like,
That's a mistake. I can't believe you shot him.
You literally made me feel like a horrible person, even though I already know I'm a horrible person.
That's mean.
Whatever.
What happens when we continue?
I'm gonna fucking shoot them.
There's something I need to tell you.
Oh, honey.
As I watched you play, something has changed in me. I feel different. I feel I am someone. I need to leave this place and discover who I am. It means we won't see each other anymore. I won't be there to watch you play. But I'll be free. Do you agree to let me go?
What would happen if you say no? Like, of course, yes. I'm not an asshole.
No, we're gonna shoot you in the face.
I am curious, though, what would happen if you said no?
I should probably stay there, and she'd probably cry and maybe kill herself.
Good lord.
I'll never forget what you've done for me.
Oh, honey, we didn't do nothing.
Thank you.
Just go do your
Go
thing.
do your thing, you're free.
You were standing the whole time?
Mm-hmm. Poor thing. Let's see, did I have any other issues? Oh! The woman in the beginning, and the daughter in the beginning.
When,
That was Alice, correct?
No, it wasn't Alice. It was a girl that looked similar, but when you see the playback in the video again, because I watched it on YouTube, somebody's doing different things, it's not her. They do look different in the face. It's a different girl. It's not Alice.
See, that would have been a really good opportunity.
Well, that's when you first said it, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, you blew my mind. But I know it wasn't. Because you are too good. That's why she writes.
What else? I know there's something else. I'm gonna think of it as soon as this is done. Okay, so overall, just so people don't think I hated this, I loved the game. I really did. There were just certain things about it that, unfortunately for me, personally, were at very pivotal, critical moments, and some of the storytelling I could not get behind. Whether it was how they portrayed the scene, or how they made the characters. I really just... if I'm going to do like a 5-point scale, 1 out of 5, kind of whatever, 2 out of 5, whatever.
Yeah.
literally would go down a whole star just based on that. Otherwise, it would have been a 5 out of 5. Like, for me, I got invested in it.
Yeah.
I felt like it was more of a movie or a TV show. I love TV episodic format for writing.
Yeah.
That's my jam. I love that kind of delivery of plot and character. So for me, I was like, it would have been perfect as much as it could have been if they didn't let me down the way they did. So if I'm gonna go out of 5 stars, I would give it 4, because they really lost me on some really critical moments. And I feel like they did not expand Luther's plotline in the way that they should. He was just, at that point, he became like an accessory.
Yeah.
And that was sad, because otherwise, why have him come along? Do you know what I mean? Like, have him save you in that moment, but then...
Well, I think there's many times where he could have sacrificed himself or tried to help, but
I know,
I think...
but what I'm saying is he just followed along, and yeah, he and Alice grew closer to each other, but give him a little more. Give him a little more moments.
It would have been cool, and now you say that, I agree. It would have been cool that if, when you leave him in the tanker because he gets shot, if they show a storyline of just him,
right,
and how you kind of
right,
need to get it back up,
right,
that would have been cool. I didn't think about that, and
like,
I agree with that. That would have been
something. Give the guy a little something other than just to be the guard dog for Kara and Alice. Like, I feel like if you're gonna have him tag along and be that kind of character, he should have some weight to his character. He should have his own growth, because otherwise, it feels like, why is he even there? And I love him as a character. I think, that surprised me when he turned.
Yeah.
It was such a great moment that I wasn't expecting, that I immediately kind of like clung on to his character, and like I wanted to see where he was gonna go.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of didn't go anywhere. He just kind of was. And I was like...
And there were certain parts where you could think that he could have a good moment. And not that he doesn't have
we
good
all
moments,
could have had
but...
a good moment,
Yeah.
more than just what was already there.
I understand. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, obviously, because they have 3 main characters that you were playing with, so they stuck with those instead of...
But put it into the writing, then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It would have taken maybe about 2-3 moments to really build his character, to the point where I would have been like, okay, you could see growth.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You could see progress of some sort. I just feel like it was so good, and then it was nothing. Like, it just plateaued right there. It was like, that's it. That's all you get. So, yeah. But other than that, I mean, I'm curious as to, like I would want to go through it all over again and make all of the asshole choices that I possibly could. Like, every horrible choice. Just to see what happens.
There is a crazy whole nother part to all of those things. And I've seen one, I didn't do it. But there's a whole nother different part especially with Kara and Alice, where they get sent to the camp. And you have to fight your way to get Alice, find her, and none of you have your skin on. And you have to search there. It's pretty crazy, and I think you would have loved that. Because I think I remember seeing it before. I didn't see the whole thing, but I don't think that happened to me. No, it didn't happen to me, because we got... No, yeah, because we went through the river, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, you didn't do that.
But there was a whole other...
So I would... Yeah, I mean, in short, the writing of that, even though I know that, like, there might be other issues if we take other paths that I would be upset about, but for the path that we went down, that writing I did not like. So maybe that was, like, the only disappointing writing in there for me if I were to play through every possible combination, or every main pathway that you could go. But yeah, it wouldn't keep me at all from playing the game again just to see what different things you could do, or playing a future game. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm invested enough in it that I think it's fantastic. I think they did a great job with it. That writing, like, it wouldn't deter me at all.
I loved it, and I think I would definitely give it a 4.5. I find it very hard to give anything like a perfect score because, nothing.
I would have given it a 5 right off the bat. I really would have, because
I'm going to stick with a 4.5 because I loved it. It kept me engaged. Again, I am an easier focus group.
He's
Forse.
Yeah.
So I am much easier to just.
He's not as critical and bitchy as I am.
Just get sucked in, and I'm just there.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I thought the way that they. I don't know how long this game was in development, but it seems like nowadays so many games are being, even though they're being pushed back because they're not finished. When they are bringing them out, there's just so many issues. And games do not look as good as this did. I know that this wasn't a whole big, like, third person, like, running around. You're always controlling the character. Sometimes you're just hitting buttons.
Right.
But it was just made so good. Like, the whole game in a whole was made good. I'm not saying any points could have been better, because they could have. But the game in a whole was excellent.
The things that this game focused on, which they really excelled in both, and that's what sold it, was the visual and the writing. You don't play this game to smash buttons because you like smashing buttons because you want to kill something. This is all about the experience. And they did that beautifully. I seriously would have gave it a 5 out of 5 because I am not a gamer. I'm a Nintendo girl. I'm very basic. I play Animal Crossing. I like Yoshi and Mario Kart, and that's Super Mario. Like, that's it. That's my level. I don't go past my cute little box that I stay in. I was actually asking him, I'm like, can we stream tonight? Because, like, I had to know what was happening. That's how invested I was. That's why I would give it.
So, listen up.
But I can't.
I believe, I'm trying to remember the people that made this. It's Quantum Dream?
No idea.
Quantum Dream, I think. I would suggest that you hire my wife as a writer because she would do a damn good job, and you look her up, buy her book. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't go that far, but
what I'm saying is she's has a very good insight, and she can see things, and she is good at telling stories. So if you have any issues, just call myself.
I am in the market for a job. For more jobs, I should say.
But yeah, I liked it. I'm going to give it a 4.5. It's excellent. I liked everything about it. So, it gave me a heart attack a couple times, so.
Yeah, sometimes I had to, like, remind you to keep playing the game.
Yep.
Because.
Like that. So these are just extra things. You get points from beating the game. I was just downloading things. But they have a
well, we're like an hour in,
yeah. Now this is gonna be it. I'm not gonna play any of this stuff for you guys. We're gonna end it for the final time tonight. But I remember today I was trying to think of another game that we could play. Me and Lynn together. I was gonna say my wife, doesn't matter. Me and Lynn.
Well, it does. I have a name.
Yes. And I was thinking of something like this because I know she loves this, and I thought of a game that's I think a year older than this, Dawn. I can't remember what it is, but it's it's similar to this, where it's you hit buttons instead of always controlling the character and its decision making. But it is like more of like a thriller, spooky kind of sci-fi game, from what I remember. So that's what we're gonna do next, and we'll be coming back with you guys with that one. Until Dawn, that's what it's called.
Until Dawn. Yeah. Okay.
And actually, the company that did Until Dawn has come out with 1 or 2 more games since then, so we have more to play.
Hopefully that they make something else.
I would love
for this series.
They have plenty of ways that they can make a second game
material.
From this, so
tons. I mean, they could go off onto a sub character.
Yeah.
You know, like there's, or even just the characters themselves. What if there's a revolt? There's a civil war.
I wouldn't even care if they continued this, came up
Like
with like we were saying,
post-life.
like some deviant like was got watched his other deviant friends get killed, so he becomes a deviant to try to make the other deviants look bad, so they can start a war,
Right.
whatever.
So they can.
But if they showed the characters Kara, even if they went back in time and gave Luther like a prequel and like a story mission, I would love that, because it'd be cool to see
Right.
how he got to Talco's, whatever his name is, Taco's place. Valco's,
yeah,
the guy that he was kind of like
The guy that they got the
bear and all the androids that he was screwing up. It would be cool to see how he came to there.
right.
Because he even said before he thinks he was a
He was a laborer. Yeah. His model was made for.
And obviously Valco, I think is his name, erased his memory when he got him. So either way, that's where we're gonna end it.
That's it.
So thank you, my dear,
You're welcome.
for being here. I
Thank you for
enjoyed it,
having me.
and I hope you guys did too. And if you did, please just remember to hit that like and subscribe button, because that helps me out. And guys, just have fun, be safe, and be free. See you guys later. Peace.